Hey, what's up everybody? Welcome back to Unparalleled Universe, and today we're going to be modifying the brand new Marvel Select Immortal Hulk. And to be honest with you, this figure doesn't necessarily need these modifications because he's pretty amazing right out of the box, but I'm just greedy when it comes to articulation, so I wanted to try to add a little bit more to this Hulk. Really the only thing that I'm going to be trying to improve on is the torso, because as it is right now, it doesn't crunch forward very much at all. And I really want to see if I could improve this ab crunch. I think really that's the only thing this figure was missing. Oh, and butterfly joints. I'm not going to try to add butterfly joints. I'm not that crazy. I'm just going to make a couple of slight modifications to improve the torso. And speaking of the shoulders, I might try to cut away at some of the plastic in here just so I could have his hands come in a little bit more. I mean, his arms come in a little bit more in front of him. So we'll see how that goes. Another thing I plan on doing is changing up the head a little bit. I've been wanting to do these modifications on Hulk ever since I got him, but I wanted to wait until I was able to secure an extra one because this figure has sold out pretty much everywhere. It's becoming very hard to get, and I have a feeling that it's going to be pretty rare until Marvel Select, Diamond Select decides to re-release it, which they probably will eventually. But I know for the next couple of years, this guy's going to be hard to get. So I didn't want to chop this one up without having a backup. My backup just got here, so now it's time to get out the X-Acto knife and see what we could do. Let's go ahead and get into it. We're going to start off by heating this guy up and popping his torso apart. And just so you know, I'm not going to film, me doing every single one of these modifications. I'm going to do them and then come show you on camera. I don't like to handle knives while I'm behind the camera because you never know. I want to try to focus on what I'm doing. So let me go ahead and do that, and then we'll see what we got going on. All right, so fortunately the water straight out of the faucet at my house comes out really hot. So I'm just gonna put Hulk under here. And the first time I did this, I realized that his upper torso, once you heat it up, it gets really soft. It's like one soft solid piece. It's not like two pieces of plastic fused together like we see sometimes on some figures. It's just one big soft piece. So let's go ahead and do this. Yeah, I think we could get something going pretty good with the head. So there you go. Came right apart with some hot water, and that's what I was saying about it being a solid piece. Alright, so now here we have a comic book accurate Immortal Hulk, and what I plan to do here is, as you can see in here, it's got a little hole. I'm probably going to open that up a little bit and see if I could get a little bit more movement out of it, and I'm also probably going to make like a little channel on the front side and on the back side so the ball joint could kind of travel inside of there, and that'll give me a little bit more movement, or not the ball joint, but the stem of this joint here could travel in there and move back and forth. We'll see if that works out. And then I'm going to do the same thing right here, where I might just carve a little bit of this out and then create a little opening here and right here to get them some front and back. Maybe not on the back side, maybe just on the front. And I need to be very careful not to carve too much of that right there because I still want it to be able to hold this big ass ball in there. And then the other thing is, I'm just going to trim away a little bit right here. I don't know if it'll do anything, but I figure since I'm chopping them up, might as well try to see if we could make it so his arm could come in a little bit more. And then, like I mentioned, the head. And I was messing with that a little bit just to see what it looked like. And it seems like it could be pretty cool. We'll see. But let's go ahead and check it out. Alright, so let me go ahead and show you where we're at so far. I went ahead and made this hole a little bigger. And as you can see, I have a little space right here for this part to travel into. And at first I was just going to use my X-Acto knife, but I realized how much room I had here before I started to interfere with the way the figure looked overall, because when you have this on, a lot of it is covered. So just as it was, it went like to right there and still stayed covered. So I figured I could go pretty far into the plastic, so I went ahead and got my Dremel, and it was a cleaner situation anyways, so I was able to get that going there. And I just wanted to show you exactly what it looks like before I put it all together. Same thing in here. I wasn't able to get my Dremel in there, but that's what we have going on in there. I was still able to cut away some of it. So let me go ahead and pop this together. Oh, one last thing too is I wasn't able to do anything with the arms after all, so it's okay. It is what it is. I really didn't have that that high of expectations for that situation. I didn't think that would work anyways. But right here in the neck, I also went ahead and carved away a little bit so that his head can move up. So trying to modify Hulk's head turned out to be the most difficult part of this whole little project. I was able to do what I wanted to do with Hulk, but with the head, I really wanted to get his mouth closed, but I just can't get it done, you know. Hopefully this works. So far, what I tried to do was heat it up, close his mouth, and super glue it, and just hold it. I thought that that would be enough, but as soon as I let go, his mouth just opened back up. At one point, I had it closed, and it stayed closed for about 5 minutes, and then it just opened back up. It doesn't open all the way up, but it just doesn't stay together how I want it to. So what I did here was heat it up, dry it off, put some glue in there, and then I have a zip tie holding his mouth together. So I think I'm gonna leave this overnight and see what happens. All right, so I think I'm all finished up with the Hulk, and I'm pretty happy with the way he came out. The head, I think, could have come out a little bit better, but for the amount of work that I was willing to do, I think I could live with what I have going on right here. I have seen some other people do a similar modification to the head, but I've also noticed that a lot of people have had to resculpt the face and things like that. I didn't really want to put that much work into it. So for the amount of work that I felt like doing, I'm pretty happy with how the head came out. I think it came out kind of cool. I did have to repaint the teeth because after several attempts of trying to glue his mouth shut, I did have more glue on the teeth than I wanted. So once it was all held together, I had to sand it a little bit and then repaint the teeth. But I'm okay with how the teeth came out. I think they look pretty crazy. And overall, I think the head sculpt came out good. It turns out I did not have to leave that zip tie on his head overnight. I noticed that the inside of the zip tie had lines on it, and those lines were leaving indentations on the Hulk's chin. So once I saw that, I took the zip tie off, and I think I had it on there for about 20 minutes, and that was enough time to keep the chin in place and let the glue settle and hold. So it's been okay ever since. So like I said, I'm pretty happy with the head sculpt, but I'm just not sure if I'm in love with it. You know, I think it's a very cool option to have this look for the Hulk, but I think I could have done a better job with it. I look forward to seeing some other people do it and see how it works out for them. But as far as the torso goes, I'm really happy with what I was able to do. So before I did the modification, he was only able to crunch to about right there. Maybe not even that much. It didn't crunch forward that much at all before the modification, but now, after doing all the stuff I did, he's able to crunch forward a really nice amount. For the Hulk, you know, he doesn't need to be able to crouch necessarily, but I just want him to be able to crunch forward. So there we go. That I am super happy with. It definitely allows you to get him into poses that he was not able to do prior to this. But yeah, I like this ab crunch a lot. I think this worked out good, and it wasn't a very hard modification to do. I did not affect the way the figure looks overall, like when he's just standing there. It's not like you could see the little cutouts that I made or anything like that. So I think this modification was a success. So I'm happy with that. And then I also modified the neck a little bit so that he could look up when you have him crouching forward. So pretty good stuff. An easy modification, but it's something that seems to be... It's something that it seems like it has to be done on almost every Marvel Select figure. I wish they would just do it like that right out of the box. Doesn't seem hard, you know. If I could do it with the Dremel, I'm sure they could do it at the factory. But anyways, you know, I don't mind doing these little modifications. But yeah, there we go. So yeah, let me know what you guys think in the comments. If you guys decide to do this, please be sure to be careful. Use the proper tools. Don't hurt yourself. Don't ruin your figure. Have fun, you know. But yeah, be very careful. Let me know if you guys have any questions. Feel free to ask me in the comments. I'll do my best to try to help you guys out. But anyways, I think that's it. Thank you so much for watching. Please be sure to like, comment, subscribe, and all that good stuff. Also, be sure to hit the bell notification so you know every time that I go live. If you're not aware, I do go live every Tuesday at 7 p.m. Pacific time and every Friday 7 p.m. Pacific time. So come through, hang out, let's talk about toys, and let's get weird. Peace.